see you yet. Let's see.
Hitting the refresh button.
Let's see how it works. If it works. Because I am not the end all be all with this. Angela does so much better with this stuff than me. See you yet? Let's see. Okay.
Hitting the refresh button.
Let's see how it works. Okay, so they see me, but I don't know where you are. Again, I am not the end all be all with this. Angela does so much better with this stuff than me.
Where's the echo coming from?
Okay.
Hitting the refresh button.
Let's see how it works. Okay. Echo's gone.
Okay, I was looking through my links like, am I the echo?
Nope, I was the echo. Hello, guys. I don't know where. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Ooh, am I going to do this right? Am I doing this right? Hey, you should have an invitation.
I should have an invitation?
Yes, now.
Is this a different?
I guess this is a different one.
Okay, I mean, whatever you send me, I will join in.
Yay! Okay. Yay! There you are.
Okay, I'm closing. I think I need to change windows so I won't be the echo. Am I a part of the live stream officially? Maybe?
I think so. I think so. It's going back and forth on my screen. So it should be going back and forth on your screen. Hold on.
Pixelated. I don't know why. I don't know if it has something to do with my webcam or whatever.
You are on.
Oh, the comment section's going crazy. Hi, everybody.
Hi, guys. Trish, yes, the book was great. And yes, Nicole, the troll is running rampant. I was kind of confused as to how we already had 3 downvotes for a live stream that has not even started yet. That was fun.
Yeah, usually when we first, I mean, we have like a couple minutes before we go live or we just see each other before, you hit the live button. The look on your face was so sad. I knew something had happened. I'm sorry that was the what though?
I know, like I had just seen it and I was like, oh, like for a live stream that has not even started yet. What in the world just happened? That was fun.
Yeah, where did the echo come from again?
I have no idea.
Before, you hit the live button. The look on your face was so sad. I knew something had happened. Is this me now? Am I echoing? Is it
just I don't know. And I was like, it doesn't seem to be me. I was like, oh.
What just happened?
What in the world just happened? That was fun. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, where did the echo come from again?
I have no idea.
Before, hit the live button. The look on your face was so sad. I knew.
Okay, let's see. Is that working?
I don't think it's my end. I was just looking at my windows. I don't have anything else open aside from this.
All right.
I don't think it's me.
I think it was me. All right, guys, I am so sorry.
I did not mean to place blame with that one. But I was like,
that was totally me. I am totally okay with taking blame.
I was like doing this like, please be quiet. I was trying to wait for that weird echo to stop because it sounded very sci-fi, like something bad was about to happen.
Yeah, no. All right. So, hi, Lou, and hi, Mom.
Oh, your mom is watching. That is the sweetest thing ever. Hi, Courtney's mom.
Yep. Hi, Gayleen, or Gaylin. How do you say that? Hi, Stephanie.
I was gonna say I'm looking. We have Lou, we have Krista, we have Gayleen. We have so many people. Welcome, Krista. This is so exciting. Stephanie. Oh, it's so nice to see the comment section go crazy.
Hi, Kate.
Oh, we have the author. That is. Oh, this is so exciting.
So this is an amazing start. Before we start talking about the amazing book that we read, let's introduce ourselves. Angela, you go ahead and introduce yourself first.
I think my dog, he was like, I want to be introduced. He's like, this is Max. I'm Angela. I live in DC. I'm currently getting my PhD at American University. My channel is Books Are My Heart. Courtney is the queen of cozies. I talk about them from time to time, but my dissertation is on the romance genre, so I'm always reading romances. Perfect excuse to keep reading. So talk a lot about those. I'm kind of fangirling that the author has now joined us. So I'm trying to, maintain composure because that's so cool. Yeah, so my channel is Books Are My Heart, and Courtney is a doll, and I love her. And I'm so excited that I get to be a part of this book club with her because she is just, again, I dubbed her the Queen of Cozies. I will continue to call her that because she is the Queen of Cozies. So that is me, little brief intro.
She is amazing. And so as a lot of you guys know, or those that are new, Angela reached out to me in December or November, I believe, and was like, hey, so I see that you like a thing that are like cozies. And I'm like, I kind of do like them a lot. And so she was like, we should start a book club. And so alas, the book club became, so I'm Courtney from Courtagonist, so like protagonist and antagonist. And I have a slight addiction to cozy mysteries, like a lot of addictions to cozy mysteries. And so I talk about them on my YouTube channel, is mostly mysteries and cozy mysteries. And so is my blog and my Instagram, like all of these books behind me. It's a huge, tall bookshelf is full of nothing but cozy mysteries. And so, yeah, that's me. Hi.
Yeah, seriously, you guys need to go check out her Instagram, the Bookstagram, or, Instagram, Bookstagram, we want to call it what we call it. Hers is amazing. I seriously don't know how you don't have like 50,000 followers because she takes the most beautiful pictures. They seriously look so professional, and she places these little flowers around the corners. They're just so cute. I'm like, how does she do this? I want to do that too. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to find things and like hold them up with my thumb. Hers are just, they're picture perfect. They really are. Go check out her Instagram. I'm pitching for you because it's just so pretty.
Thank you. All right, so guys, I also want to let you know that in the video, I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but I did put a little icon that should have a questionnaire. It's something that I'm playing with that I saw today. It's a questionnaire on who you think Shannon's beau should be.
Yes, that was one of my questions for this live stream. We're going to get into that. This is a full-on discussion that needs to happen.
Yes. So if it should be up, if it's not up right now during the live stream, then you need to come back and vote because I'm super excited to figure out like who do you like more, and it's so much fun.
Do you want to start off with this discussion because we were going to have this eventually? This is going to be
most definitely going to have this conversation. I do want to say that I am so happy that this book was chosen for this month. I have read other books. I read If Books Could Kill, the whole entire Bibliophile Mysteries, or I haven't read all of it, but it's the Bibliophile Mystery series, and I absolutely loved this series, and then I didn't know that this existed, and then Angela was like, hey, there's this book that I think that would be cool to read, and I was like,
that's so funny, because I'm the complete opposite. I knew about Fixer Upper, but I didn't know about her other series. I had the complete opposite experience. Now those are all on my to be read over on my Goodreads page. I just added all of those, so those are going to get read. Fangirling really hard right now.
Oh yeah, like so much so. But so this cozy mystery was just amazing. Like I couldn't pick who was happening and like what was happening, and I loved that she had pink tools. Like that was so awesome. So what did you guys think overall about the cozy mystery? Like, what was your favorite part?
I have to say, I've been seeing a lot of really positive feedback on our Twitter, on the Instagram. People really seem to have enjoyed this book, and this was the first book that I had, Courtney and I, we were going to take turns putting books up for you guys to vote on. And so that was the first month that I chose the books. And I get really nervous when it's my choice. I have this fear thinking, oh, if they don't like it, it's my fault. Or, oh, if they don't like it, you know, they're reading something because of me. And I get really nervous about that. But everybody was so positive and everyone really loved this book. And I loved this book. This is probably my favorite that we've read thus far. I mean, I loved Ellie Alexander, but I really got into this particular book. And so seeing all the positive feedback has just been amazing. I think this might have been one of the most well-received that we've read thus far.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I totally agree. Just like all of the relationships within this book were so well thought out and like so well balanced. Like I love her best friend. They were cracking me up like at the very beginning. And she's like, you could have warned me that installing drywall would be hell on my manicure. And I just like, Kate, did you have a specific person in mind when you were writing about Shannon or when you were writing about her best friend, Jane? Was there something specific, like a person in your life that is just that amazing? Because they were fantastic. And I loved that Jane did not let Shannon push her around when she was getting hurt. She was like, no, your dad's not allowed to take care of you because you're going to push your dad around.
I love the banter between her and her friends. I also love the banter in general. That was something I think that I really appreciated because I think dialogue can sometimes be really difficult, especially when it's a first book in a series and you don't know the characters, you don't know their personalities, their dispositions, what's going to happen. But it was so much fun to read and they were so sassy and witty. I loved it. I think that was one of my favorite things. I mean, obviously, the book itself was great, but I loved the dialogue, especially when she had her two different guys there. She had Mac and Eric, and they were playing with the dogs. And he's like, oh, the redhead, just like you. For some reason, I thought that was just so cute.
Yeah, I loved it. Trish says, loved that Shannon was a contractor. I loved that she was a contractor, that she was out of the norm within the genders of that role. And I also love the fact that it's even pointed out within the book when she talked about how she was sort of shunned from one of the contractor gigs and how she didn't just sit quiet. She put up a fuss about it. And I loved that about her.
So I'm going to kind of jump off of that a little bit. I really appreciated this book, generally speaking, for the gender dynamics. And this is going to sound totally awful, but I don't know if this has to do with the fact that the Me Too movement is going on. I thought it was hysterical how the guy who was killed was the misogynist everyone hated. He was a cheater. That's the guy who gets killed. I thought that was kind of really, really funny, which sounds awful, but I thought it was kind of interesting how that was the victim and how everyone kind of who was talking about, you know, the women in his life. I thought the way she kind of conquered the gender elements. I mean, the whole he attacked her thing was so bad. And so you're kind of already rooting against this guy. So when he was the victim, you weren't exactly upset. He wasn't like her best friend or something.
Yeah, no, I really, really liked the fact, like, I was actually rooting for him to die. Like, I was like, okay, he's gonna die. I'm super excited for this. Like, I'm okay with this guy being like kaput. Bye-bye. See you later. Like, I'm happy the guy got nailed.
I think that was a really interesting interlude to the series because so many times it's the best friend, the family member, the mentor, someone who's so important to their lives. And so the fact that it was this guy that everybody disliked, he was obviously a bad guy. We're going to get rid of him right off from the get-go. And then she gets blamed, and then that's how she gets intertwined. So it was her mystery to solve. It was her mystery to get involved with. But it wasn't as if she was emotionally invested because of the victim, which takes on that emotional element where you get sad, you might cry. But you were rooting against this guy. So when he gets killed, not really crying. I just wasn't.
Yeah. I love Kate. She goes, we've all had dates like that, right? Seriously. Oh, like it reminded me of a date that I had that I was just like, I wouldn't have been sad had that guy just, disappeared. Like, that wouldn't have hurt my feelings much. See, Stephanie gets my sense of humor. He got nailed because she's a contractor. It's funny.
I mean, I think you rated the puns. I again, I'm not rooting for her to get hurt, but she got hit with the hammer. Her last name's Hammer. I mean, the puns in this book were right on point. The punniness for your chart, I mean, you got to give this book credit for the Cozy Mystery puns. We have the Scottish Rose Tea Shop on Main Street, which I really want to go to and really hope exists somewhere in the world, even though it's fictional. I want that in my life. Oh my geez, we get comments.
Madison says she was skeptical early on because of the attempted assault. It was very graphic for a cozy, but I agree, it did pay off in the end. It did kind of shock me at first. I was like, wow, that's a little bit more detail than a cozy has, because it's normally, you know, the murderer's seen off, you know, screen, which it was, but something so graphic at the beginning. But I believe that the way that it was written was, it was meant to be written that way. You needed to have a reason to hate this guy, and that was more than enough reason for me to dislike his whole entire face.
I completely agree with that, his entire face. I think part of one of the reasons why I enjoy this cozy so much is that it was a little bit more edgy, and not necessarily the assault attack scene, but because, I mean, it had a couple swears in it. She said she was a badass at one point. It wasn't exactly your typical cozy. It was written differently. I mean, obviously there's sass in a lot of cozies, but this one definitely came off as a little bit of an edgier cozy to me. I don't know if that's true of everybody, but I mean, from the dialogue with the sassiness, they had their wine glasses. Sometimes, I mean, everything was supposed to be like completely PG and they don't have wine. It came across as a different type of cozy. And I know you've read a lot more cozies than I have. I mean, I read quite a few, but I've read quite a few, not as many as you, but I've read quite a few. And this one definitely had a different vibe to me, and I really liked that.
Yeah, no, I really, really liked it as well. And I like that Kate just said that it's a reason for Shannon to be a legitimate suspect, because a lot of the times when I'm reading cozies, not a lot, but I've stumbled upon a few in which the suspect doesn't necessarily have a real reason to be a suspect, or something's a little bit more wishy-washy, or it's not quite believable. And that's the thing, that's the balance that most writers have to get, right? The balance of believable even in fantasy, and believable relationships, even though the world's not real, you still have to be believable in the relationships. And I feel like this was perfect in its believable and reality, and being able to, you know, this could have actually happened in real life kind of scenario. And I really, really liked it. I liked that, you know, she didn't just fall for Eric 100%. Like, I loved that she was like, he hates me. He hates me. And it just, like, that was just cracking me up. I really, really liked that.
Oh, bye, Kate. I hope you have a nice dinner with your husband. Thank you for stopping by.
Yes, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much. It means the world to us that you stopped by and said hi to everyone.
I think that, again, this is why I was really drawn to this book in particular. I'll be honest, everybody, the last book was not my favorite. I thought the cat was the mystery. You know, I thought the cat solved the mystery. I thought the cat was the sleuth in the last book. It wasn't my favorite read. But for this one, again, the whole her being a legitimate suspect was really important, and it felt organic. And again, with Cozy Mysteries, when it feels contrived, I start having that, okay, I'm going to go make a cup of tea now. I'm going to put the book down for a few minutes. I didn't have that with this one. I just wanted to keep reading. And so I think I read it over the course of Saturday night. Yes, my Saturday night was reading Cozy Mystery. Yeah, I really liked how she was a suspect. And again, one of those heat of the moment things of, oh, I'm going to kill him, or, oh, I could kill her. I mean, she said that a couple of times, and you know what she means, but at the same time, that really did give her the motive element.
Yeah, I was actually, okay, so again, you know, I should probably have like therapy or something, because I was super excited when her boarder got killed in her driveway too, because that guy was a douchebag, and I wanted to punch him in the face as well.
That's something, yeah. So Max is barking. That was something I think, again, I appreciated. These were not, you know, the characters that you loved getting killed. I've told you before, when I've read Cozy Mysteries, Max. When I've read Cozy Mysteries and the characters that I love get killed, I get really upset. when it's the best friend I've read for 3 books who gets killed to give her a motive to stay involved. I hate that. I get really upset. I get really depressed, and I don't want to keep reading. These were guys you were not rooting for, so you could still read the narrative, still feel involved, but at the same time, you know, you're not rooting for them. You're not going to miss them.
I love that Anna says that she couldn't put it down and that she finished it in one day. That is fantastic. Yeah, I finished it, I think, in like a day and a half, I think, because I was on the boat with Aaron, and I think during the cruise I read like 4 or 5 books, and I devoured it. Like I was just sitting out in the sun, and I couldn't put it down. Like we were with 2 other couples, so 4 other people, and they were like, "So what book are you on now?" And I'm like, "Book 3." And I was like chatting their ears off. Guys, I missed you guys so much because no one knows cozies like my cozy companions here. And
that needs to be your new hashtag. My cozy companions.
Hashtag cozy companions. And but I really, really loved it. Nicole, everybody that got killed deserved it.
I think that was a part of what made this book enjoyable. It was one of those, and again, I'm not rooting for, murder here, but it was one of those, the good guys are going to be rewarded and the bad guys are not, good versus evil. And so the evil was getting taken down. I mean, again, not advocating murder, but these were not the characters you wanted to see succeed. These were the guys who you were not going to miss. So I think that was part of the book's brilliance.
Yeah. Oh, bye, Nicole. Have a good dinner.
We love you too. I love her.
She's freaking fantastic. Yeah, Anna, hashtag cozy companions.
We all need cozy companions in our lives.
We do. We need people who can talk about it and be as excited. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I need to get the Hallmark movies and mysteries because now I want to see the movie. Is the movie as good as the book?
So I was going to talk about this. The movie is totally different. And okay, so this is we're going to get into this now. So the movie, it doesn't even, I think it starts with the second book in the series. It has nothing to do with the first one because I've seen the first movie. They've made, I think, 3 now. I just saw the last one a couple weeks ago and I live tweeted with y'all. But it was totally different. And the whole Eric versus Mac, there's no Eric. It's just Mac from the get-go. And
what? So no, you can't do that.
I wanted my Thor guy. I wanted to see who the cast is, Thor over there. But it's totally different. It is not the first book in the series. And so I think that had to do with why I enjoyed this as well, because I saw the movies before I read the books. I saw the movies and I wanted to read the books. That was my motivation for wanting to pick this up. And I had no idea who the killer was. I had no idea what was going on because it was totally different. It was a completely different narrative. And yes, we need to talk about Eric versus Mac and the fact that that is not a love triangle in the movies. It kind of upsets me. I kind of wanted to see Eric.
It's the whole entire thing about Shannon in the first place because of how she got burned in high school when her ex decided to cheat on her and get the cheerleader horrible person, Whitney, knocked up. And so she has these horrible trust issues. And then both these guys get dropped in her lap and they're 2 totally different personalities. And you have to have both. I don't normally like love triangles. But this one, that makes me salty, super salty.
I loved this love triangle. And I'm not someone who likes love triangles whatsoever. Those are usually, I told you I read romances. Love triangles are one of my least favorite things to read. I don't get into them. I don't like the emotional cheating that I think kind of happens. I'm just not a big fan of love triangles. And yet this one really worked for me, which is so strange. I very rarely say that. But the whole Mac versus Eric, I was team Eric. And then in the movies, he's not even an option.
See, I'm like half and half. So I see that we've got, you guys start commenting and telling me what team you're on. Also go vote so that I can have a voting log thingy. But yeah, so I liked Mac up until she knocked on his door to give him the basket of vegetables. And when he opened the door and he was a totally different person than when he was with her, when he saved her when she was riding the bike, I was like, I don't like the fact that he's got sort of split personalities. You know what I mean? He's got his persona that he is during regular people hours, and then he's got the way he is when he's writing. Like, he grunted at her kind of way, and
see, I don't really mind. Again, maybe this is this is just me, because I'm one of those people where, like, when I'm working, I really don't like being interrupted. And this might be one of those, like, living with your friends or having tenants versus, like, living alone. Like, when someone interrupts me, I don't snap at them. I'm very quiet. You guys definitely see me like the most talkative version of myself. I kind of just look up like, what are you doing? What do you want? But he vocalized those thoughts of, why are you interrupting me? And so I think that was, he wanted to keep working on his stories. I didn't really take that as a negative thing. I just thought of it, I think she kind of captures the characterizations, and to me that was a characterization of, I'm used to being alone, and so that might have just been his disposition. I mean, but the the enemies with Whitney, her arch enemies there, those characterizations, spot on. All the characterizations.
Oh my God. Like, I think everybody can have a Whitney, and like you think back to like high school, or like even Mean Girls now, because adult women are mean girls too, which is ridiculous, but whatever. The whole entire like Mean Girls, like, you were, I got salty. Hi, Danielle. Seeing that
I just saw the comment, who plays Irish. So this is really funny to me. When you read the book, I mean, unless I was reading a different character than everybody else, Shannon has red hair. She's very Irish looking with the freckles. The singer Jewel plays her in the movies, who has bright blonde hair like I do. And I think her eyes are blue. Like, she does not look like the character. She does Shannon justice, but she does not look like the character description. Totally different. Very well played, very well acted. Not the same description wise. Just saw the question. And yes, you guys do need to get Hallmark Channel, because I need people to talk to and fangirl out with, because me and Hallmark
Channel like bad. I like how you guys are saying that he seemed more real to you because of that little flaw, which I can see now. I think just reading it, I was like, whoa. But I think right now I'm Team Eric. Like, I like that he keeps her on her toes. Like, I like that.
Yeah, I really liked Eric because, again, this is me. It wasn't an insta love. I mean, when she sees Max, she's going, who is this guy? I mean, again, same with Eric. She was really attracted to him at first, but that wore off very, very quickly when he suspected her of murder. So the dynamic's different. It's not he's falling all over her right off the bat. And again, this is why I love the book, organic. That's going to be my go-to word for the night. It just felt real and grounded. It didn't feel as if it was forced or, we're trying to push him on her. Again, I just really liked the way it kind of played out naturally.
Yeah, no, I agree. It felt more realistic with Eric and Shannon. They're more able to be believable as a couple, as it's not insta love. Trish says that she thinks it's Jewel that plays Shannon.
Yeah, the singer from the 90s. She had that song Hands, and she has that little twang when she sings. She's adorable. She's really cute as Shannon.
Hey, Books and Smiles. You're fine. It doesn't matter. We're all ready to talk about cozies.
That was just a part of him being a writer, and it was to make you suspicious of him. I agree with that. Anna's comment, it was almost as if we needed to throw in a way to make him a suspect. And then the friend, I think a couple pages later, says, oh, he's the mystery writer who kills people in his books, and then there's 2 people murdered. So it was kind of a nice setup. I liked the way she said that. It did make you suspicious. It did kind of work a little bit.
Yeah, but I also liked how Shannon didn't necessarily believe Jane. And so she went to the original source and she's like, now listen, did he say it in a joking manner about how he came to town and 2 people died? Or was this serious? And she's like, no. He said it jokingly. And she's like, I thought so, but kind of need to make sure. I agree with Miriam that we didn't really get to know Eric that much, but that's one of the reasons why I love having this book club, is because all of the books that we're going to read are the first in the series. So if you want to know more, or you want to fall in love more with the characters and the town and everything, this is a jumping off point. So like, if you really loved it, you can go and get the rest of the series and read. Whereas if you didn't necessarily like the book, hey, you only bought one of them, or you only checked out one of them. And it's not like a huge waste of time, because sometimes I get really bad and I'm like, oh, I love the puns in all of these titles. And then I buy like 12 and then they're not that good.
Trisha's comment just made my entire night. I'm in love with Eric. My husband is aware. That is the best comment ever. Oh my goodness. Yes, he might be on my book boyfriend list very soon if I keep reading the series. But I agree with you. I think this is one of the beauties of creating our own club. We get to dictate the rules. And so, again, I feel badly throwing this book on our list again. I was not a big fan of the last book we read. I do not intend on, I am not going to keep reading. It wasn't for me. I know there are people who liked it. Reading is personal. It's your own experience. Some people give books that I enjoy, 1 star and vice versa. Although I don't really rate things 1 star, I just keep it in my head. But again, first books in the series, to me, this is a series I am going to keep reading, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, Books and Smiles. She's like, I did get the second book, and I feel like I'm going to go out and buy the rest of this series because I really want to know. But there have been a couple of series that I've bought, like the first 4 or the first 6, because I loved the cover and I loved the pun and I loved whatever it was. And then I read the first one and I'm like, darn it. Now I've got this whole series that looks cute, but then I can't really suggest it because I don't really like it. Like,
honestly, yeah, I think we're also living in the perfect age for book buying, because you can do the ebooks to get it instantly. You can have it delivered to your house. I mean, I remember, I think I was in middle school. I don't know how you guys are gonna read. This is Meg Cabot. She had this Mediator series, and I remember I'd buy it 1 book at a time. And so every day I would be asking my mom, "Can we go back to the bookstore? Can we go back to the bookstore?" And so we'd have to drive back to the bookstore to go pick up the next one in the series. And so that was one of those books I wish I'd bought them all at the same time. Other times, again, I have some books up there kind of like you do, where I've read the first ones and going, no, they look pretty. I have the complete set, but nope, not gonna happen. And it's like, and I know, hi, Books and Smiles. I know that was cute. She called you her bestie. Aw, so sweet.
Yes, I love her. She's fantastic. Trish, I bought the whole series.
I can't do it with the bandage, but I'm like, snaps for Trish,
yeah. What cracks me up is I get so many messages now on like, so I went on a Cozy Mystery buying spree after watching one of your videos, and like I'll get tons of personal messages like, my husband kind of doesn't like you right now because I bought like 10 cozies. And I'm like, but they're awesome. Like your husband should be happy that you're not wanting to buy jewelry, because cozies are like inexpensive, right? That's right. Yeah.
That's my logic with books. I used to make that argument because I've been a book lover my entire life. And so I remember in high school, I would say to my dad, I could be buying, anything else in the world, but I'm asking for books. I could be asking for anything else. I could be asking for, a brand new car. I could be asking for whatever. I'm like, I'm asking for books.
Yes. I loved that. Anna says, I learned my lesson with buying a whole series. Seriously. Yeah. So what I've done is one at a time, I'm buying them. So like, for example, the 3 books that, because it was my time for April to choose 3 books that we all voted on. And I think I've got them right behind me actually. So I've been buying the first book in the series, and then I'm allowed to buy the other ones if I liked the first one. So like, there's Fundraising for the Dead, and then Salt and Pepper, and Death Takes Priority. So I bought all of these because they were the first in the series. So I'm working on it. It's hard, but I'm working on it.
I like where you set kind of parameters for yourself. I don't know if I could always be that dedicated or stay true. I'd probably be one of those addiction addicts going, oh, just one more series. I thought it was funny though, and because I just read the little summaries today and everything, and so I don't know if there was a pattern, but all of them are kind of jilted women, or jilted, I mean, they're all recovering from divorce or relationships. I did notice that.
Well, and the thing is that a lot of cozies are that way though, right? They're starting anew. Either someone has died in their life, or they're trying to sort of take themselves out of whatever monotonous cycle that they've been in. They're trying to revamp themselves. And so I really chose, okay, so if you want to know the reasonings why I chose these, I chose Fundraising the Dead because it is a museum mystery, and I actually used to work in a museum in the archives. I worked at Philbrook Museum in the Native American archives for my master's. And so I thought that it would be fun to sort of see a mystery written in a in a setting in which I have experience in. And so that's why I bought this one. And then I bought this one because it's freaking punny and it's a food mystery. And just so you know, this is the one that won for April. So Lisa, you said what book won for April? The Assault and Pepper in the Spice Shop Mystery Series by Leslie Budwitz won for the month. And I'm super excited about that. Plus there's a dog on the cover. Like, come on, how could you not? And then this one just seemed interesting. I kind of liked the fact that there was a cat on the cover. And
dog versus cat.
Oh, and I thought that it was awesome because, okay, so you know how in a like baking book, how they've got like recipes at the back, right? And so they've got recipes in the back, or like if it's a quilting, they've got like quilting like prints or whatever in the back. This one actually has post office stories in the back. Like yeah, that head Turk. That's what I did. I was like, what?
I don't know if they saw the little head tilt I did. It was kind of one of those, you know, when your dog kind of looks at you and go, what?
Yeah. Well, like it's like little bitty like stories about things that have happened in a post office or like fun facts. Like for example, this one says almost 40 million changes of addresses are processed each year. You know?
That's a very, I mean, I like it. I haven't seen the show, even though I love my Hallmark. I haven't seen Signed, Sealed, Delivered. I saw the movie, but I know they have a show where it's kind of the post office situation. It kind of reminded me of that right off the bat. But I mean, it sounds cute. I understand why you picked it up. I mean, I just haven't seen anything like that. So the little head tilt was kind of, you know, I'm intrigued. Tell me.
And that's how I thought. I was like I was super excited for Fundraising the Dead and Assault and Pepper. And then I saw this one and I was like, I mean, I get a teacher's discount, so the book's actually less than $7.99. I was
so
like,
I am curious when you mentioned you worked in a museum. One of the things I love about Cozies in particular is I get to live vicariously. You want to be grounded in realism then, so
yeah. So like, I don't know. I get a kick out of reading things that I have experience in to see if the author is as on point with what I experienced myself. I don't know. I find it kind of fun.
I mean, I've been taking the master classes, and James Patterson, I'm enrolled in his, and he had one talking about details. So you just reminded me of that, where he's saying, you got to get your details right. Otherwise, you're going to lose them as a reader. So you just reminded me of his little quote, his little nugget of wisdom there.
Oh, yeah. I love how...
I know, I was looking at the comment section.
Yeah, she goes, ordered it 2 seconds after the poll ended.
Hello, high five, cozy reading friend, high five.
Yes, you guys are fantastic. Oh, Marion said there doesn't seem to be any bookstores around where I live that have that much cozy mysteries. Fortunately, there is online order, but still, I know my favorite thing is, so we've got quite a few bookshops in Tulsa, Broken Arrow, where I live, but there's this one Barnes & Noble that has like 6 or 7 bookshelves full of cozy mysteries. And
Barnes & Noble does a really good job with cozy mysteries. I have to give them a lot of credit. I mean, I love Barnes & Noble anyway. I mean, I'm a big fan of Barnes & Noble. But I really always am impressed with their cozy mystery section. It's always really well displayed. They give it enough room. I really like the way they portray them. I mean, it always looks so colorful. Like, you know where the cozy mysteries are because it's the brightest part aside from the children's aisle.
It really is. I absolutely love it. So I'm super, super excited to dive into Assault and Pepper. It's going to be fantastic. But I know for a fact that after reading this book, like I annihilated this book. After reading this book, I'm going to most definitely go and buy at least the second and third one in the series to see if I continue to love it. Because have you guys ever had like a series that starts out amazingly? Like it can be a romance, a fantasy, whatever, but it starts out amazingly and you're so excited for it. And then you get to a point where you're just like, oh, what happened? Like, oh, no.
For me, I have this moment with books where I think things need to have a beginning, middle, and end. And again, I'm going to use the word again, organic. If things start to feel contrived and it's one of those, you're going to keep twisting things just so that you can keep making more books versus so you can tell a story or a narrative. That really bothers me, and that's when I really start to put books down. As soon as it starts to feel as if, you know, you're just keeping things going for the sake of keeping them going, rather than because the characters still need to grow, they still have more in their, you know, their lives, their literary lives there. I mean, if you want to see, you know, a relationship develop, at some point, their relationship might, you know, reach the culmination, and that might be the be-all end-all. And so if you just keep that series going, it's not gonna feel great to you as the reader, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I have to feel like there's a reason for me to read. Like, I want to be a part of the narrative. I want to be a part of the characters. I want them to feel as though they're my friends and everything like that. And once they just start dragging it out and doing things that don't really matter to the characters or to the plot, it's just, I don't know. It makes me grr.
I was about to say something very, very controversial that I know is going to probably upset some people. I'm going to get in trouble. I know it. Outlander, I couldn't do it after, I think, 4 books because they just, after a certain point, Jamie and Claire have been separated over and over and over again. And I just couldn't do it because they could only be, you know, taken apart and put back together so many times before I just lost interest. You know, they were in America and I'm like, okay. They're in America. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. Actually, I read the first 4 in the Outlander series. And I mean, after reading the first one, I sobbed as though someone had actually personally died in my life. Like, I was depressed for weeks. And, you know, I finally was like, okay, I'm ready for the second one. Like, I had to mentally prepare myself. But then after a while, I'm like, damn, do you just not like Claire and Jamie? Like, do you just want them to be the most miserable people in the whole entire world? Like, how much hell can you put those characters through? And it just, it wore me out.
I see, that's the thing. I know people love the series. I think it's very well written, and I don't mean to say this is inorganic to some people, but I mean, to me, you can only put people together and take them apart so many times before it's one of those, okay, are you doing this to tell a story? Are you doing this to keep making, like, what is the purpose of this? Because after it happens, and I watched this show on Stars, again, they're together, then she goes on the boat to be the doctor, and then they take her on the boat, and she's kidnapped. I mean, how many times can they get separated before you just let it go?
Mm-hmm. I love how Miriam said, I tend to get a bit tired of series after a few books. It becomes often repetitive. And that's the thing, is that I don't, like, sometimes I'll binge read a whole entire series. Like, I binge read the Pacific Northwest series by Kate Dyer Seeley, or Ellie Alexander is her other name. I binge read that whole entire series, but it was only 5 books. So, like, I knew that, okay, I'm done with that. I'm going to go on to another series to sort of refresh my palate, if you will.
I mean, this is my other thing about series as well, and we've kind of talked about this a little bit before in other live streams. When you start killing off the characters that I love, or when you start to see things take a turn, I love Aurora Teagarden, and I don't want to spoiler alert this for people. I'll keep this spoiler free. There's a main character who you get to know and love, and then he or she is killed, and it was so sad to me. I was devastated. And so for Aurora, I kept reading, but other times when they start when they kill off enough of the characters that you love, you're kind of going, who am I left reading this for? Aside from the main character, or, you know, we always have the female protagonist usually in cozies. So aside from our main character that we love, who else is left? Sometimes that happens as well. Not too often, but I have come across that a couple of times.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm reading Anna says, I just want to see how it ties back to Jamie watching through the window in the first one. Okay, yeah, I totally understand that part. Like, that
haven't gotten to it yet. I will tell you that on the show on Stars, have not got to that yet.
Yeah.
That's not going to come either for at least another season or 2. So
hi, Bethany. Sorry, I just saw that she came on. Hi, Bethany.
Hi, Bethany. It's so, I mean, I try and keep up with the comments. Everybody, it's so sweet to see everyone commenting and be a part of this. And I love seeing the interactivity going on between you guys as well, because we'll be talking and all of a sudden it will just keep scrolling and I love it.
I like how Bethany says that she uses contemporary romance as a palate cleanser between fantasy novels. And I totally agree with that because like I've been reading so many cozy mysteries. Like I've probably read, I think 26 cozy mysteries so far this year. And I had to take a little bit of a break. Like I read for March Mystery Madness, I read The Broken Girls by Simone St. James, and it's a mystery, but it's more of a thriller. Seriously good book, by the way, if you were wondering. I loved this book. And then Aaron and I listened to Ready Player One on our way down to the cruise, and that was a good like palate cleanser before reading all of the cozies, and I really agree.
I think it's important that you take a break because after a certain point, things start to feel familiar, or you start to have this moment where you've read so many books that it starts to feel as if you're judging the one in your hands almost preemptively and you have expectations, or you're just so used to certain things that when it's not the same, you start to get angry or frustrated. And so sometimes there might be a book that is probably a 4 or 5 star read, but at that point you're just so tired of whatever genre you're in, you're going, I can't deal with it, or oh, I can predict this, whatever. And it's not that same read. The experience is different.
Yeah, I totally agree. I see you have the Darker Shade of Magic series behind you. Do you recommend it? Yes, I do. I have 100% read the first one, and I'm part of the way through the second one. I really do love this series. This is a fantastic series to read. So yeah, all of my this is my whole entire master's degree. I took science fiction by women, and I took a whole entire class on Sherman Alexie as well. For Native American.
Wow. Huh? You took an entire class?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I loved both of those classes. So my degree's it's in American Studies with an emphasis on Native American and women's studies. And so I actually did a whole entire internship and worked at Philbrook Museum on Native American women's artwork and the whole entire ethnographic journey that their artwork symbolizes within their tribes, and sort of the stigma within Native American culture of women being artists. And so, yeah, I loved my degree.
Oh, that's so amazing. I mean, you guys definitely see my fun shelves. I'm at my kitchen table. You guys get to see my fun young adult, new adult, romance, everything over here. I have 4 bookcases in my office, all academic books. Not fun reads.
Oh, that's a really good idea. She wants me to create a video of all of the science fiction books that I read for my class. It was so much fun. There were some that were better than others, but I really liked it. Seriously, I love that Galen, I'm gonna mess it up. I know that you said a long E. She said she started Broken Girls yesterday, and then Trisha's like, Broken Girls, need it. It was really, really good.
I mean, I haven't read that book yet. I added it to my to be read list on Goodreads, I'm pretty sure. But I like the idea of the sci-fi and the women video. I think that would be a really great read. I read a lot of academic books, and so one of them was talking about the other day about writing habits, because I'm working on my dissertation, was talking about how to finish a dissertation in under a year or something, and they cited someone else as the father of modern day science fiction, and I got really, really upset because it's Mary Shelley. And I was really, really mad when I was reading.
Like right here, it was one of the very first books that I read. You can still see like my notes from when I was reading it for my class. But this was one of the very first books that we read in my science fiction for women's class, and it was Mary Shelley. You do not get to tell me in any way, shape, or form that the person who started the whole entire science fiction genre was not a woman, because it was.
Yeah, when I saw that, I got very upset. And so I'm sitting there, and I remember you'd referenced that before, so I knew you would get automatically, because I remember reading Frankenstein for my master's. I took a history of text, And so we talked about the hyperlinks with Patchwork Girl, and I did the entire history of like Frankenstein and how it evolved. So again, I knew she was the creator of the genre. And so when I saw that, I actually stopped reading the book going, okay, I know you didn't use your citations properly. I know you didn't do your research. And if you're wrong about this, you're probably wrong about other stuff. And I just gave up.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, it bothers me when things aren't cited the way that they should. There were so many books that I read about Native American culture that was written by a white guy who has no idea what the heck they're talking about, and then they start assuming things about the Shawnee Native Americans is the same as the Zuni Native Americans, totally different sides of the Americas, by the way, and not anywhere near the same type of thing. But I'm going on a ramble, and I could go on a ramble forever. So let's get back to book it.
I'll just say one last thing about that. I was reading, again, I've been studying, my whole thing with the romance genre has to do with the fact it's a genre about women, by women, for women. And so it has to do with gender studies and the representations of women and female authorship. And I ended up coming across articles from a men's studies professor. Let's just say I disagree with his findings. Moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
So you guys wouldn't be salty if I had a video that wasn't cozy mystery based then, because a lot of times, like, I look at my stupid analytics that make me sad sometimes, and I realize that some of the videos that I put on my channel, if they're not like mystery based or cozy mystery based, they don't really get a lot of I don't get a lot of people talking to me, and I don't really care about like the views or the stuff like that. But like, I really, really love the conversations that I get in the comments. Like, that is like my bread and butter. Like, I get so excited. I don't know if you do, Angela, like whenever you have a video that pops up and it's finally gone live, and then you get to have all of the amazing comments with people within your video. That makes my heart all happy.
Comments are, I'm always so honored every time I see a comment thinking, oh, this person, A, watched my video, and B, they felt compelled to write something. I always every time I see a comment, I smile. And so, the more comments, the better. Because I also spend a lot of time on my videos. We've had this discussion before. It takes me a really long time to edit. So an average video, even if it's 5 minutes, it probably took me 5 hours at least. And I know it sounds like a lot, but between, getting ready and writing a little note or script, filming, editing, it takes a long time to produce content. And so you want people to enjoy what you're spending your time on almost. The whole point is, yes, this is a community and you want to have a conversation, you want to have interactivity. And I know you're smiling at someone in the comment section, and I want to know why.
Yes, because Trish says, we love your face, Courtney. We will allow other videos. And then Lisa's like, you should branch out and make videos that make you happy. And then Anna's like, I'm going to go through and like and comment on every video. That makes my heart super happy, because you know how we were talking about how there was a troll in the dungeon because this video hadn't even started and we had 3 downvotes. And when I got back from the cruise, apparently I have a troll that I didn't know about. And I came back, and in one day, someone went through and put a downvote on 38 of my videos. And I was like, well, why? What did I do? Like, I know I shouldn't take it like personally, but I'm like, can I be your friend? Like, why don't you like me?
See, honestly, I know at least 2 very dedicated trolls. Again, I've been doing this, I think, 2 years. The thumbs down, like when I see the thumbs down, that bothers me less than the hate comments, which I have gotten. Those really bother me. And I've gotten a couple really nasty ones. I won't tell you. Let's just leave it at, I deleted them off of my account. I got a few really, really, really mean ones. I know, I'm kind of like getting emotional like thinking about it. So the thumbs down, like when I see that bothers me less than when people kind of spew their hate onto you. So at this point, I've kind of learned to accept you can't change it. Once it's there, it's there. I don't like it. I don't really appreciate it. My own personal thing, and I don't know if YouTube would ever do something like this. The thing about the thumbs down, I almost feel as if you should say something to like be able to put a thumbs down, like, oh, I don't like how they said XYZ, or oh, the editing was bad. I almost feel as if there needs to be a way to let people know where that came from. It can't just be, oh, feel like it. Because I actually one time accidentally, and I felt so bad because I actually rewatched the video and realized what happened. I wanted to give someone a thumbs up, and for some reason it said I gave it a thumbs down. And it also happened with a commenter when I wanted to give them a thumbs up and a like or a love. And for some reason I gave them a thumbs down. So I actually mishit. And this is one of those using my phone versus using the laptop. Now I just use my laptop to comment. I don't even trust my phone just in case I accidentally slip and hit the wrong thing. So yeah. I don't know. That's why I kind of let it go a little bit because I can't control it. Sometimes I don't even know if they wanted to do it. So I kind of let that one go. But it's the comments that's the one where your heart hurts. That's the one.
Yeah, I just don't understand why people have to be mean. Like just be nice. It's not hard to be nice. I bet you'll feel better if you're nice. I love Lisa says, I agree. Grow a set and leave a comment ass face.
Oh, I try and be sweet. You're sweet, Trish. Trish is very sweet. Over on Twitter.
Oh my goodness, I love her face.
I love her. So sweet. I just got the comment with the books and smiles that you just read. I just saw it.
I like Miriam. I don't get downvotes unless for a major reason. I'm like, come on, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Get a life.
I will admit, I did notice this in particular. This happens, or at least this happened when I did the stigmatization of the romance genre, and I was talking about, the female representations. That one got thumbs downs automatically, and it was so funny. The video hadn't even been live for more than 20 seconds, and it had 2 thumbs downs. I'm like, I know you didn't watch this. I know you didn't watch the video.
No way.
Same thing would happen tonight. You're like, why do I have 3 thumbs downs? You haven't even started it yet.
Yeah, I love Stephanie. She says, think about the readers you have inspired. You both have inspired me to get back into reading for fun and not so much for work. Oh, you're making my heart swell and all happy and stuff. You guys make me so excited to read. Like, there was a while that I was really, really like sad and like sick and things like that. And I didn't really feel motivation to read. And this past year and a half, 2 years, I have just been on the rebound, but especially for the past, I started my channel in June of last year, and I have made so many amazing friends. Like, I mean, you guys are just fantastic. And then meeting everyone from all around the world, and just, it's been a blessing just to have everybody here. And it just, I don't know. I get all warm and fuzzy inside.
I filmed my one. I know I have more than that now, but the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, I was crying during the filming because I'm going, I can't believe 1,000 people hit the button. I was just so emotional. I couldn't put into words how much it meant to me, but it's really, really true. I mean, it means a lot. And this is such a fun community. Yes, there's negativity with the commenters and the thumbs downs every so often, but I mean, seeing the comments tonight and seeing how much you guys love the book and commenting with you, I mean, you're the sweetheart. Like, I love you. You're just one of the best people in the world. I'm so happy I got to, do this with you and be friends with you. I mean, it's the positive stuff. I mean, I think BookTube is
making me blush. You're fantastic and sweet and loving, and just, we have the best cozy companions in the whole entire world of ever.
We need to really start using that as a hashtag. That needs to become a real thing very soon.
I agree. So everybody, whenever you're messaging us on Instagram, or if you're commenting on our videos or on our Twitter, hashtag Cozy Companions.
I know. Also use the Cozy Mystery Book Club as well. I caught some of your pictures when you're posting about A High and Finish. I mean, you guys take beautiful pictures, and it's so much fun to see your comments. I know Miriam had one earlier that I reposted on my live feed. I mean, it's so much fun to see you guys reading and partaking in the conversation, because I know we're the ones hosting this, but I mean, seeing the comment section blow up is just the best. I mean, it really does make me smile, and I'm so happy to, see people enjoying what we're talking about and seeing this become a real, this was our little baby, and to see people love it,
it's grown so much. Then it's grown bigger than I thought that it was going to be. I thought that maybe we'd get like 5 or 6 other people to read a cozy with us, but instead, I mean, we have almost 50 people voting every month, and that's grown from the first month, and it's just it's so amazing. And Bree, you're not late. It's fine. We are fantastic.
Yeah, actually, we haven't even started talking about the book. We kind of got off on like a little tangent, like, oh, my notes.
Oh, hello, Bookish Porcupine and Slew. And oh my goodness, hold on. I think that the Spider-Man person is one of my students. Like, that last name looks really familiar. Are you one of my students? You might be.
I think it's great how you actually tell people in your real life that you do this, because I'm the complete opposite. This has kind of become my fun zone, my positive outlet. I mean, I know you just when you started your booktube, you just talked about that. I started because I had problems with my back, so I actually couldn't walk. I had a cane for like 3 months. I was in a lot of pain, and so couldn't do anything but read. And so filming in front of a stationary camera was possible. And so I actually haven't told people in my real life about my booktube channel. Everyone here is just people I met on the internet.
See, and I think that people in my life are happy that I've started this, because then I don't bother and pester them with all of the books that I'm reading. Like, because normally I would just go up to like my mom or like someone and I'd be like, hey, so you want to know about this book? It's a really, really amazing book. And then they'd sit there and they'd nod their head and smile at me because they didn't want to hurt my feelings. But then they'd be like, can we do something else?
I think that's great, though, that you can actually talk to people. I kind of had the opposite effect where I would read something really great and I wouldn't have anyone to talk to. I mean, I might tell my mom, like, hey, I read something, but aside from her, I wouldn't really tell anybody. And so then I would, go pick up another book. When I was in high school, I started a book club, but it was my senior year, so I only got to enjoy it 1 year. And so I know I got a little, wrinkles around my eyes a little bit. Time has passed since high school. I haven't had that same outlet in a while.
I know. I actually started a book club last year, starting in January of last year, but I really only wanted to read cozy mysteries, and a lot of the books, everybody would bring a book and then we'd talk about it and then we'd all vote on the one that we wanted. But there were quite a few duds that I didn't want to read, that I didn't really like. And then I was like, I can't do it. I just can't. I can't. Not at all. Nope. Mm-mm. So then this one's perfect.
That's the thing about, this is why I'm so happy we created this book club and we get to choose what we want to read. Because that's how I feel about some book clubs, because if there's not really a grounding genre or grounding interest or commonality between the readers, you're going to get stuck reading things that you would not have picked up otherwise. I noticed that very quickly.
Oh, so we've got a lot of comments coming in. Anna says she's so happy that she finally discovered Bookstagram and BookTube. And Miriam, I think you made me and Angela tear up today during your post about how wonderful our book club is, because I mean, you guys really are a part of it. We wouldn't be able to do these live streams. I mean, we would, but they wouldn't be as much fun. They'd feel more scripted because, oh, we've got to talk about this, and this, which is fine having those talking points. But I love that we get off on little squirrel tangents.
I mean, I think it's so much fun to know that there's other people who like what you like as well. I think that there's a sort of validation there. In addition to having, this live stream, there's this sort of feel of community. And so you get to talk about them and realize, hey, I'm not the only person who likes this thing. There are other people out there for me to talk about this with. So, I mean, this is, even though it's the live stream, on the last, Wednesday of the month, we also talk to you guys over on Twitter. I mean, I'm always tweeting something. So we have the Twitter. I mean, you talk to us on Twitter and Instagram. It's not just the live streams this one time a month. I mean, hopefully this is a discussion that's ongoing. And it's not as if you feel as you have to hold off talking to us until the last Wednesday of the month. You can talk to us on Twitter or Instagram at any time, because we want to talk to you about cozies. We really do. At least I love this. I know I'm like, we lost Courtney. She's looking down at something.
Well, because what I'm doing is, Lou just said that a salt and pepper is only $2.99 for Kindle right now. So I was going to post something on our Twitter about that it's the book of the month and it's only $2.99 right now, so that people can get that awesome deal, because that's fantastic. And I was going to put a link for it.
Beautifully Bookish Bethany, which is the best name ever. I love that. Beautifully Bookish Bethany. I love that. It's always weird when someone in real life says something about one of my videos. I don't know how I'd feel. I probably, again, you guys see the most talkative version, the most outgoing version of myself. In real life, I'm very quiet. I'm probably the last person. to say something. And so you guys definitely see a different version of myself. And I think it'd be weird to have people from my real life watching, because I think that would kind of add a little bit of pressure almost to me. I think, again, this is my positive outlet, so it can kind of be anything I want it to be. I can talk about the romance novels. I can talk about my school life. I can talk about anything I want. I give you credit for telling people in your real life about your YouTube channels. Go Bethany. I don't know if I would have the confidence to share my videos. I have an academic channel, which you guys don't have to go subscribe to, because basically whenever I've done virtual conferences, I've had to post videos there. I used it for my master's thesis. That one people know about. I think that has like 15 subscribers or something. Those are the only ones where I was like, yeah, you can go watch those. Didn't tell them it books my heart. Kind of semi-anonymous a little bit.
Ooh, the Bree's talking about the haunted home renovation series. That sounds good. Oh my goodness.
If walls could talk. I like the sound of that.
Is that the haunted home renovation series? Is it sort of like a mixture of paranormal and cozies? Because I could dig that. I do like some cozies that have sort of like a magical twist to them as well, like the Magical Bake Shop Mystery series or the Magical Cat Mystery series. That's really, really good.
I just realized I'm like, I lost my dog. I don't know where he is. I'm like looking around for him. I'm like, I know he's here somewhere.
Trish, you should start a channel. I will give you all of the tips that I use. Anybody who wants to know anything about how I do stuff, just let me know. I can show you what I use to edit my Bookstagram pictures, what I use to film. Like, I'm a teacher, guys, in Oklahoma. I don't make a lot of money, so I'm not like really high tech. Like, a lot of the stuff I just use my phone, and it's literally that simple.
See, again, I was having trouble, walking. I was I was confined to my apartment. I used to do a lot of interviews. I worked for like a political outlet, doing interviews and stuff. So I had my tripod, I had my professional camera. I took documentary filmmaking classes as an undergrad, so I bought Final Cut Pro. So I kind of was already weirdly set up to have a YouTube. It was almost like, why didn't I have this already? I mean, it's definitely a learning curve though, because my first few videos, I used the webcam because I didn't feel confident sitting in front of my camera. There's something about looking into the camera myself versus the interviewer, where I used to do those types of things to have the camera on someone. Being in front of it was very different for me. So my first few YouTube videos, I used my webcam. I think, you get more comfortable after a certain point, but I mean, I'm happy I joined YouTube. I think if you want to join and have your kids watch and hopefully they won't laugh, I think that would be amazing.
I want to laugh. I mean, you see that like sometimes Erin and my sister, like in today's video, were laughing at me because of my fanny pack. And my fanny pack is fantastic, but don't laugh at me. Aaron's over there on like the couch. He doesn't like my fanny pack. He thinks like I'm one step closer to like mom material, which is fantastic. So I take that as a compliment.
I was going to say, what's wrong with being mom material? Come on. I was going to say, what's wrong with that, Erin? What's wrong with being mom material?
Yeah, Erin, what's wrong with me? He goes like this. He's like, nope.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one for the world.
Not touching that one. The Bookish Porcupine said if Walls Could Talk was on an HGTV show that talked about people's homes that are old and the mysteries about them. Oh, that's cool. Bree asks, do you all remember your first experience with BookTube and how do you come across it? Do you want to answer that first or do you want me to answer that?
You can answer it first, my darling.
Okay. So actually, it's kind of funny. So when I started dating Aaron, we've been together almost 2 years. When him and I started dating, he was like into like watching Twitch and things like that, which is like live gaming and stuff. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And so I started looking into all different kinds of things. Like I used to not be a really girly girl, and I was like, I want to learn how to put makeup on. And so I was watching a lot of makeup videos. And like, cool, I can't believe that some people get paid for this stuff. And Aaron's like, yeah, you could do this if you wanted to. And I was like, no, I couldn't. I don't have passion for makeup. He goes, well, you love books. And I was like, well, I do love books. He goes, well, aren't there videos on like doing book reviews? I was like, I don't know. Are there? And then that's when I fell into the wormhole of BookTube. And I watched it for a really long time before finally Aaron and I were talking, and he was like, you should start it. And so on our 1-year anniversary, I actually started, we were having our anniversary like day. We spent a whole entire day together on our anniversary, and we were having like lunch and stuff talking. And he's like, you should do it. He goes, tonight you should start everything. And he helped me pick out my name and everything. And that's how I fell into the BookTube area and all of that.
Aw, that's so sweet that he's your support system. He's so encouraging. That is, I mean, hashtag relationship goals, just putting that out there. It's so sweet that you guys support each other, and, you know, he's there for you, and he gave you that little, you know, boost of confidence that you needed.
Yeah, because I probably would not have done this had I not had him as sort of like a sounding board background. And he watches all of my videos, and like he's like, hey, you know, you kept doing this. And so like at the beginning, like if you go to my very first video, oh, it's cringeworthy. But if it's still on my channel, if you go to my very first video, I have a really nervous habit, and I still kind of do it, but I go like this a lot. Like I'm constant like this in my video. It's so bad. It's so bad.
But I do not support the fanny pack.
Did you hear him? He goes, I do not support the fanny pack.
Maybe he's not hashtag relationship goals with you. Getting downgraded.
Okay, he says that he doesn't support the fanny pack, but there was like this leather thing on the front that I didn't like, and he took it off for me. And he told me that he did think it was useful.
I was going to say, maybe if he doesn't like the fanny pack, he should buy you something else. Put it on him. If he wants to spend money and buy you like a new backpack or something. Nordstrom is having a little bit of a sale going on to get rid of some of the underwear. I think there's a Kate Spade backpack on sale if he wants to buy you one of those. Nudge, nudge.
That was Dave.
What happened?
Oh, I said, you go get me one of those, Dave. And then I was reading comments. Lou goes, I'm an old mom. You're not old. You're gorgeous and fantastic.
I saw the comment before about, I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. And I was laughing so hard at that one. I love Amy Poehler. I was watching Parks and Recreation earlier. I mean, she was the mom of Mean Girls. I love that reference. That made me happy.
Yes, I love it. Discovering that BookTube was an actual existing thing was just wonderful. I agree, Miriam, like very much so.
Oh yeah, am I supposed to tell you about my BookTube?
Yes.
I just kind of forget about that. I was like, am I supposed to talk? I was like sitting here enjoying my cup of tea, listening to you. I was like, I get engrossed in the live streams. So I started, my channel's grown a little bit over a period of this is my second, maybe third year. Maybe it's my third year. Wow. Just realized that I've been more regular, I've been more frequently uploading the last few months. It's really grown then. I started BookTube probably, maybe this is my second, third year. I had been living in the city. I moved to DC. I'm originally from Massachusetts. I got my undergrad at Bentley University. I went there for my bachelor's degree. And so I graduated in 3 years instead of 4. So I was just always studying, working. And then I came to DC, to Georgetown University. I got my master's degree there. And so living in the city by myself, I was living in my little apartment. I had Max, my dog, who's by my feet somewhere. I was by myself. I didn't have a roommate. I had my dog. That was it. Again, I went to Bentley, I lived on campus and stuff, but I still knew the area because I'm from Massachusetts. And so living in DC was very different for me. And so I started watching more YouTube videos. I do what's called wallpaper television. I put things on in the background. And so after a certain point, you can see The Office and Jim and Pam fall in love only so many times. I mean, after a certain point with Netflix, you've seen Gilmore Girls a million times, Friends. I started watching YouTube videos, and that was when I discovered BookTube. And so once I started seeing people's videos, and I realized I had all the equipment, I had all the experience. Although I wasn't as confident as first, I started making the videos. Again, my first few were on my webcam because I just wanted to get comfortable. They're still on my channel. They only have I mean, 100 plus views maybe. They weren't super well viewed. I didn't start getting commenters and interactivity until much later. My channel grew a lot slower than yours, I believe. But again, I was living by myself. I was watching the videos, and I just sort of realized, hey, this is something I should think about. And then I have what's called flat back syndrome, which is the most random terminology ever. So my spine doesn't have the curvature at the bottom to alleviate, when you pick something up. Yeah. So I don't really want to get into the anatomy of it all, but I don't have that curve at the base of my spine. And so the muscles, they try and offset it. And so there was a time, it was really bad. The muscles spasmed, and I was bedbound for solid 2 weeks. I couldn't walk. And then I had a cane for probably 2 months, and I was 20 something years old. I'm still 20 something years old, but I think I was 22, and, I couldn't walk, and I was just reading the whole time. And there were some books that I really, really loved, but again, I was living by myself. I had no one to talk to about them. And so that was when I joined BookTube. Been here ever since.
It's good. It was a good little outlet for you to be able to take your mind off of something that was negative and put it into something positive. I like that.
I saw someone said they're a Boston girl. I'm like, high five. Yeah. Massachusetts friend.
Hey, Phaedra. Anna Ross. I love the fanny pack. Books and Smiles. Lisa says, I want to see the fanny pack. So this is the fanny pack. And I got it when we were in Roatan. And it did have like a little leather thing here that said Roatan on it. But I didn't really like it. I wanted to see all of the flowers and then the little turtles down here. And what I loved about it is that it's seriously the perfect fit for a cozy mystery. And so it's like the perfect fit. And, or that's upside down. And yeah, so that's my fanny pack that I'm super excited about.
I was going to say, as far as fanny packs go, that is definitely one of the prettier fanny packs. I'm not overly familiar with fanny packs, but I mean, usually they're just like plain black or something. And so I like how it's decorated. It's really cute. That was not the fanny pack I was expecting, Aaron. Just putting that out there. I know he's listening somewhere. I was expecting this, I don't know, kind of decrepit looking, falling apart at the edges, like
the 80s, like the big ones that like grandmas would wear. I've got some style-ish.
I mean, I'm not doubting your style, but when you hear fanny pack, there's a certain connotation that comes to mind. And the way he was saying he didn't like it, I was thinking, oh, maybe this is one of those well-worn situations and, buy her a nice backpack.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, goodness.
Oh, Books and Smiles, you're my Boston girl. I just saw that. I knew someone said they were from Boston. And you're jealous of New Englanders. Bree Hill, jealous of New Englanders. I mean, we have a very good football team. This year was devastating, but we got the football player. We got the football team. We won't go down that road.
Bethany lives in New York City now, but she misses Southern California. I live in Oklahoma, and I've lived in Oklahoma my whole entire life. So I understand that, Bree, I'm in Texas, and it's hot, hot, hot all the time. It's either hot, like Oklahoma doesn't know what season it's in. Like it's ridiculous, like not knowing at all. Anna, at least it's not a neon color. Very, very true. But exactly, who doesn't put a cozy in a fanny pack?
Hey, Books and Smiles, go Pats. Yeah, I was kind of risking mentioning that because here in DC, if you say you're a Patriots fan, people kind of look at you. They give you a little, what'd you say? I mean, it's not, DC is, they most of the people I know, they were rooting for the Ravens, and I don't think they lasted very long. I don't really remember exactly. I feel like the season was forever ago. But I remember I went on, I think someone sent me a BuzzFeed link, and it was to tell who was rooting for what team. And it was like, are you from New England? If you answered yes, it was like, you're rooting for the Patriots. If you're not, you're rooting for anybody else in the world. I mean, this year, though, you kind of got to give it to the opposing team there, the Eagles. I mean, they hadn't won before, so, I mean, not really that bad. I'll give it to
them. Trish, you can come and visit me in Canada. I would love that. I've always wanted to go to Canada.
Hey, am I invited?
Kansas. Yep, my dad's family's from Kansas. Actually, Wichita, to be exact, is where my dad's family's from. So I totally understand. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about when it comes to the Cozy Mystery that we read this month, or anything like that? Do you guys have any? Were you guys shocked at the whodunit? Because it took me like maybe like 60 or 70 pages before the end of the book that I was like, I think I know who it is.
So can we just talk about Tom for a minute? Tom and Whitney. I was really thrown off guard when he called her kiddo. I don't really know a lot of ex-boyfriends that call their ex-girlfriends kiddo.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Like, I feel, and I don't really know their relationship.
Like, yes, Angela. I was like, oh, I was like, I didn't get invited to Canada.
Totally come to Canada with us. But like, I really thought that whole relationship thing was weird anyway. Like, she didn't seem, the way that I read it was, you know, the boyfriend broke up with her in high school, and then Whitney is pregnant and has their first baby. Like, I feel like did he cheat on her? And then if he
cheated on her and she blamed Whitney.
Yeah, I'm like, no. There's two sides to that coin.
I mean, I kind of could see how that played out, though. This is what I mean about characterizations. When you don't like someone, it was almost as if she was thinking, oh, Whitney seduced him. Whitney did this. Whitney led him into that. I mean, granted, after a certain point, I think she should have realized Tom was culpable as well. It wasn't just a one-sided affair that led to the pregnancy and their eventual marriage. I would have wished that she was not as friendly with him almost, because it was definitely one-sided anger. I mean, Whitney, she was a terrible character. I mean, I don't really know how you could have someone who's quote-unquote such a good guy be with someone like that. I mean, I know we're getting Shannon's perspective and it might be biased or skewed a little bit because she's thinking this is the mean girl from high school. But at the same time, after a certain point, there was no redeemable qualities to Whitney because, spoiler alert, even when Penny had her in one of the caves there, the concaves there, and she was being, close to getting drowned, she said that they were going to blackmail her. So, I mean, Whitney was being mean to Shannon on the phone. She was very confrontational at the bar. She's very snippy and has those snide comments and stuff. And then she's blackmailing a psycho killer. Not the best idea. She didn't have any redeemable characteristics to really show you why Tom chose her.
Yeah, I don't understand at all. Like, their two personalities are completely and totally different from like my viewpoint. And so I didn't understand, especially even when Eric was like, oh yeah, Whitney, Tom's wife, she's really, really nice. Like, I was like, no, she's not. Maybe she's nice to you because you're Tom's boss, but like, how can you not see the fakeness?
I didn't really get the whole Whitney thing. And again, I think the characterizations were so well done. I mean, I didn't go to a public school in my town. I went to a private Catholic school that was about half an hour, 45 minutes away. I used to drive back and forth each day. But I mean, if I went to a small town school and I had that mean girl and then I stayed in the town and so did she, this would be the dynamic. That was what you would expect. And I think that Kate really captured that in a real way because, I mean, I know I'm older and I haven't been in high school for some time, but if I were to run into one of those girls who did pick on me, I would still think of her as that girl. I mean, I know time has passed, but some wounds don't heal. They just don't.
No, they don't. And like, I don't understand why Shannon decided to stay friends with him. Like, that just, I don't know. Maybe she's more forgiving than like my personality.
For some reason, Tom was totally faultless. It was all Whitney. It was all her. I don't know why or how, but it was her.
Yeah. I don't know. It was super, super weird. But yeah, Lisa's right. Tom was just weird and awkward, and I didn't really get him. I'm hoping that he's not like a lot in the series, like in the next few books. Like, I hope not.
I mean, this might just be This might be my own personal perspective. But Shannon, I mean, her two love interest options, and I just realized you can see the dog in the corner of my video trying to bury a bone in my bookshelf. I just realized he's over there, and you can see the little fur moving against the wall. Just noticed that. Her two options for love interests are either a very successful novelist, who I think they mentioned is a multimillionaire, or Tom's boss. So she's winning in the goal of relationship, outdoing her ex-boyfriend there.
Oh, yeah. Very much so. I love that men are clueless at times.
What are you doing over there? He's trying to bury the bone inside of my bookshelf, or my bookcase over there. I don't know what's going on.
He's like, don't doubt me, Mom. I can do it.
I find them pushed in, because you see how I have the double rows with books? All my rows have double books. They're, I find bones pushed in the back. Like, he buries his bones in my bookshelves.
That's hilarious.
Love it. And then the whole thing with Jerry, he was so terrible. But I thought it was interesting how Shannon actually kept Eric up to date. It was one of those, she actually wanted to tell him about the town gossip. It didn't really work in her favor, but she at least wanted to keep him informed. I thought that was a nice inclusion in the in the text.
And I like that she didn't how sometimes the amateur sleuths sort of take it in on themselves to figure out what's going on and everything like that. But there was actually legit reasons for her to be looking for different things, but she always told Eric what was going on, and she was completely honest with him. And I really, really liked that. Like, I might have teared up when she was in the hospital and she woke up to him holding her hand. Like,
this is what I mean. I am so team Eric. Did we finish that? I mean, I'm team Eric. He was compared to Thor. He was so sweet. He was there for her. He was checking on her. I love that scene as well. I mean, I thought it was funny how she was going, oh, hammer, ironic. I mean, she still kept her sense of humor, but he was there for her, and kind of not just as the police chief either. I loved him.
I really liked him. I really do like him.
That's why I don't get it. I mean, I saw the movie first, so Mac, I looked it up on my iPad. He wasn't introduced until I think it was 45% into my book, or into my read, because I don't know how that works with iPad versus actual page numbers. Mm-hmm. But he was 45% into the read when he was introduced. And so in the movie, it's just him. I don't get it. I wanted my Eric, and I'm thinking Team Eric, even though I kind of know how Hallmark is playing this.
Come on, Hallmark. Get in the game.
Eric, yes.
Eric. Miriam, I'm happy that the murderer was not someone I was so attached to. I was afraid it was going to be one of her friends. Yeah, I can see that.
I was happy that the murderer was not someone I was attached to. I just saw that pop up on my feed over here. Yeah, I didn't really figure it out until they were at the gym. That was when I kind of had my realization moment, because the only way that could ever potentially happen was if Penny was the one who sabotaged the weights, because if you're at a gym, everyone's moving from machine to machine, and there's a lot of people moving about. It's hard to really account for who your target might be. And so in that particular moment, that was when I said, oh, it's one of these three, because no one else could have potentially damaged the weights. And yes, you could say it's an accident, but this is a cozy mystery, and there are no accidents, not really.
I love it. Ooh, you could write a cozy mystery and it says buried in a bookshelf.
That is actually a really good idea. I really like that. Hey, if you want to co-write that with me, message me. I like that idea. I mean, he really does do that. I don't know. I mean, that actually reminded me of Aurora Teagarden when she finds the skull and the what is it? It's kind of a window seat. She finds the skull. You just remind me of that, but I like that title. I love it.
Do you like the series called Bones in the Bookcase?
Is that a real one, or are we making this up based on Max?
Phaedra made it up. In the comments, she's like, I see a new series in that. You could title it Bones in the Bookcase.
Hey, I think we should. What is her name? She's a YouTuber who does video essays on films. They made a fake romance thing based off of Twilight or 50 Shades of Grey. I'm like, we should make our own cozy mystery series, not crowd-funded, but crowd-written or something. Max, you inspiration over here, baby.
That could be fun.
That would be epic. have our own little cozy mystery, you know, rating group or something. That would be, I would like that. I think you guys just gave me an idea. The little light bulb is going off over my head right now.
Book shivved. Oh, Bethany, you're killing me.
I love how punny you guys are. You guys are so clever, and I love it. This is, I mean, we really do have like the best reading group, best group of people right now. We really do. You guys are awesome, and I love that. I think that is hysterical. And I know you have your little chart. I think this would win.
Oh yeah, no, it would totally win. So I actually started designing. I sent it to you, but I designed a sort of like a printout that you guys can do with the Cozy Mystery rating system that I created. If you haven't seen the video, you should go and check it out. I rate it with Cleo's. So if you want to know what Cleo looks like, she was sleeping. But so I rate it with little Cleo's. And they can get 4 Cleos in 5 different categories. And what I love is that one of my favorite categories is punniness. But I created something for my blog that'll come out on Friday that shows you how it works. It's a lot of fun.
You guys need to go watch that video ASAP. I also love the chart she made. Courtney, she has the best visual designs ever. I love all the imagery that she creates, and I love this chart in particular. It is so beautiful, and I was like, I wish I want a copy. I love it. It's so cute.
Thanks. It's fun to make. I really, really like graphic design. It's fun. Bree, what was the last mystery that completely shocked you? I think that it wouldn't be a cozy mystery because the one that completely shocked me would be The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. This one kept me on like pins and needles the whole entire time I read it, and I really, really liked it. Oh, no, I do have a cozy mystery that like kept me freaking out. So I think it's going to be the last book in the Pacific Northwest series. It's called In Cave Danger, and it's by Kate Dyer Seeley. Okay, I love this series because it has a mystery within a mystery. And like you're trying to figure out what happened to Meg's dad. And then of course there's a murder mystery within. I was super shocked. Like you can tell, like my books normally look pristine, but I beat the crap out of this book while we were on the cruise. It was so good.
I think this book caught me off guard with Penny, and I was looking up at the comments. So Luigi said the gym scene, and then Trish, same with the gym scene. But up until that point, I didn't know it was Penny. So this book kept me guessing about who the killer was. I think I tweeted the line about there were probably fewer people who wanted Jerry dead than the people who had motives, because everybody wanted this guy dead, and it was really hard to keep track of who the killer was going to be. So I actually think this book was the one that caught me the most off guard recently. And so looking up at the comments, kind of seems like you guys were caught off guard as well until the gym scene. And I just saw Anna. It was in the window seat. Yes, thank you. I was kind of trying to remember because it's been a while since I read the first Aurora Tea Garden. But yeah, it was. But yeah. So this one is the one that caught me off guard. So So aside from the gym scene, was there anything else where you guys really thought, oh, it's Penny? Because until that moment, I really didn't think. I didn't really have an assumption. I didn't know who it was. I just knew I didn't want it to be Eric because I really, really liked him. And I mean, they called him Thor. I mean, it's kind of hard to root against Thor in a way. I mean, I know there are people who love Loki, but I mean, Thor is Thor. You kind of got to love him.
I think that for a little while there, I really did think it was it Stephanie? Was that her name? The one that got choked with her gloves.
Oh, was it Jennifer? Jenny?
Jennifer? I don't remember.
There's the other mean girl who,
yeah,
she was actually. So I don't know if this was true or not, or if this is just because it's the point of view that we're getting with Shannon. But she said, oh, well, she doesn't do anything unless it benefits her. And so the thing about the loan, and then when you find out she almost didn't get the loan until she flirted, you kind of realized, oh, she really was being manipulative. There wasn't actually anything redeemable about her.
Yeah. And so for a little while, I thought that it was her. And then after the gym scene, I was like, I think that it's Penny because she keeps being brought up, and I don't know if it's like because it's the first book that they're just introducing new characters, or what, but yeah, I agree.
I just saw the comments. Anna Rose, you wanted it to be one of the mean girls. I wanted it to be Whitney until I realized she had 3 kids, in which case I felt badly for the fictional children. I don't know if anyone else ever feels that way when there are the kids involved and you start to change your opinion.
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on all of the comments that I missed out on.
I know. I think we actually have a lot of people who want to do our little writing adventure here. I kind of, again, we were talking, people were commenting, you got to catch up. Yeah, I think you guys actually really like the idea of doing, like, not a crowd-funded, I don't know what the word would be, kind of a crowd-inspired cozy mystery series over here. So thank you to Max over there, who's now just chewing on his bone for the inspiration. I think that would actually be kind of epic to have a cozy mystery written by a group of cozy mystery readers as a cozy mystery book club.
I agree. Wouldn't that be fun? Like, just to have like maybe like little short stories, like start a Google Doc and then share it with everybody who wants to be a part of it, and then sort of do. I used to do what I called pass the pencil with my students, and so. What that would happen is the whole entire my group of kids, it would be like 5 at a time. One would start the story, and so maybe write like a couple of sentences, and then pass it on to the next person, and then the next person would read it, and then add on to the story, and then keep going until the story was over. And it was actually really, really cool seeing like 10-year-olds' minds work together.
I think I've seen something similar to that for writing exercises and classes and stuff, where you have to go around in the circle and everyone continues and you see things take the twists and turns. I mean, if you have that many people writing a cozy mystery, you're definitely guaranteed a couple twists along the way, because everyone's going to have something different in mind. I think that would definitely create a different read of sorts.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Anna Ross. Yes, the fictional children. Won't someone think of them? The fictional children and then the fictional pets. It can never be with someone who has children or pets. I'm just saying.
Whenever someone is mean to a pet in a cozy mystery, I automatically think they're the murderer or the killer, or they're going to be killed. Whenever someone is mean to a pet, I'm calling it on them. I just automatically can't. I just write them off.
Yep. Exactly. I love the bookish porcupine. We used to do that for fun in school. Exactly. And that's what I used to do that all the time with my students. We also even had a creative writing notebook that they designed the cover on. And then every single day while they were, every school day, they'd come in and put their backpacks down. And while everybody's getting ready for to start the day, there would be a really, really like quirky or weird writing prompt that they would have to write about. And it was always so much fun to read their creative writing journals. I loved it.
Oh, I feel like you'd be the best teacher ever. I mean, you just sound so passionate about it, and I can tell you really love the kids, and even just referencing going, oh, we used to do this, you really enjoy what you were doing. I mean, I remember you mentioned you had them watching, or you had them listening to the Hamilton soundtrack. I mean, I can just totally see you.
On my personal YouTube account, I actually have a whole entire playlist called like children's safe Hamilton songs. So it's the ones that don't have any explicatives and it has no, sex in them or anything like that. But it was so much fun to teach American history with the soundtrack. And I mean, they loved it so much, and it made it so much more real to them. And I absolutely loved doing it.
Aww. So I saw what just popped up. It said, what about a choose your own adventure cozy? Interesting. Oh, and thank you for subscribing. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet of you. You just made me smile and blush.
So Bethany's got me thinking. So I know that I had a couple of children's books in my children's library in my classroom that were choose your own adventure. So like you'd start it and you'd read like the basic parts of the chapter, and then it says you can choose this to happen. If you choose this, go to this page.
Was it Goosebumps that had that where you would flip through? Was it Goosebumps?
I don't know if it was Goosebumps, but I I feel like it's one of the history books that I used to have with my kids. Like it was a American Revolutionary War one. Like you could be this character, or you could be this character, or you could make this decision or this decision. Like that would be cool.
I remember we used to have those as well. I mean, now instead of having the actual paper book where you'd have to flip ahead 20 pages, now you can do the hyperlinks and just jump ahead and stuff. Now it's a very different interactivity the technological affordances have changed.
Oh yeah, very, very much so. Like it's amazing like how much more my kiddos read, because I allowed them to bring their e-readers or their tablets to class, and they could read the books that they had downloaded on their personal devices, and that was always a lot of fun. Bree asks, have you noticed any of your students who are big readers? Yes, a lot of my students became big readers because I think that they saw how much I loved reading. So, for example, there was a series that I read every year for 5 years called the He's like, he wants to play, Mom.
So I'll tell you why I went and got him. He was staring at me. You can see the little tail wagging. I don't know what's going on. He was staring at me, and I'm like, he wants something. I still don't know what, though. So I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the bandages. Yeah.
Yeah, what happened? Oh.
It's from him. He, you know, when I tell people that he's not friendly, or I don't, or you know, I'll get takeout and I'll be holding, and he'll be barking at people, and they'll go to pat him, like, don't pat him, like, no. Yeah, he's not really a friendly little guy, even though he's adorable and sweet. I'll tell him, like, no, don't pat him, don't approach. And people are like, oh, he's so sweet, he'll like me. I'm like, no, he won't. Because I mean, I'm his mom, and he gets mad at me for like the most random stuff. Yes, he does sound like the Exorcist. It's because of the bone. So this happened. He was playing fetch with the bone, and on probably the 8th or 9th time I threw the bone, he didn't want me to throw it anymore, and so instead of just walking away with it, I got bitten, and so that was not fun.
I understand. Willow likes to snore, and so like I'll go and pat her, and I'm like, baby girl, stop snoring, stop snoring, stop snoring, and she'll wake up and go, "Grr." But she's like 10. She's getting up there in age, and she's just a cranky old lady.
So the worst with Max, this is the worst one because of where he bit me. This happened over the summer, I believe. He had something, I think it was a treat or a bone or something, and Max sleeps in my bed. He gravitates from like my feet to, you know, my back. Like he moves around the bed, but he sleeps in my bed. And so it was, I think, 4 or 5 in the morning, and I rolled over and I pushed the treat over the bed. I wake up, he bit me right on the nose, and he got me right over the lip. I don't know how he managed, because of his small snout, to like get in there, but he got me. And I had bandages on my face for probably like 2 weeks, and luckily didn't scar. But that was probably the most freaked out I was, because again, I didn't realize what I had done, but all of a sudden I'm getting bitten at, you know, 4 or 5 in the morning because I accidentally kicked over his treat. That was the worst one. I mean, at least when I accidentally, like, he gets mad at me about the bone, you know, me throwing it or not, I kind of realized, like, okay, this isn't good, you know, go in your timeout over here. But that was the worst one. That was by far the worst one.
Yes, they are the Choose Your Own Adventure mystery books. Like I remember those. Yes, they're fantastic. They're a lot of fun to read with my kids, and I like that they get to be. It makes you more a part of the series, of the adventure. I really, really liked those a lot.
Aw, thank you for subscribing to me, Bethany. You were very, very sweet. Aw, thank you. I'm gonna have to check out your. See, now with YouTube keeping the comments, I can go back and be like, oh, I need to go check out your channel as well. And so I like how the comments are staying this way. I can go check out your channel. You don't have to be like direct message.
And I love that too, because so many people messaged me today, and they told me how sorry they were that they weren't going to be able to watch the live stream tonight. And I love the fact that they can choose to look at the comments as they're coming in while we're talking as well, so they don't feel as though they've missed out on the whole entire adventure with everything. So I really, really like that.
Of course, now they're going to be, I let loose comments about Max being the exorcist. You get to see those later as well. These are all archived now. Take it back. Although he does sound like the exorcist. It's an excellent point.
Well, guys, we've been going for almost 2 hours. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about or anything like that? Or are you guys ready to, dive into Assault and Pepper, April's new book that I am super excited to dive into? What do you guys think?
I was like looking over. I was looking down. I have my little notes that I take when I'm reading.
Yeah.
I think we talked about everything I wrote down except for Jerry. Not only was he having multiple affairs, not only did he attack Shannon, but he was also having shady business dealings. It wasn't just the affairs. He was just bad all around. And so again, with these characters, didn't really miss them. I thought that was kind of interesting though, how it wasn't just one potential motivation. And I kind of liked that as written into the narrative, because you were curious, oh, it might not be a mistress. Oh, it might not be one of the lovers. It might be someone from his business. It just kept you guessing.
Yeah, you could tell that he was just an overall not so nice guy. Good night, Trish. So do you guys think that we're good for this?
I'm gonna think of Cujo. I just read that.
That's fantastic.
He gets used to people, but he's not friendly at first. Even though he bit me, yes, he did bite me. He's very protective, and so if you approach me with him, he's gonna get mad at you, going, "Don't come near my mom." I don't know if your pets do that as well, but Max is very protective. So he's Cujo until he realizes you're not gonna do anything to me. It's almost as if he's my little guard dog, and so when I post those pictures, he really is a guard dog, even though he's 5 pounds. He doesn't know, but he's,
Oh, Bookish Porcupine says, do you guys have a book planned out or announced for June? I don't think I'll have time to read April's book. Okay, so what we do is both Angela and I trade off every month. We pick 3 books, and then a week before the live feed or the live stream of that month's book, we put a poll that you can vote for, and then we announce next month's book on the live stream. So our meetings are always the last Wednesday of every month, and so the next to last Wednesday is when we put up a poll stating. The reason why it was so short this time is that I was on a cruise and I actually didn't get in until Sunday night, and so I wasn't able to post that early. But yes, we will have a poll the week before the live stream and then announce the book during the live stream.
Yeah, the first time around, I looked at you and I was like, I trust you. What book would you recommend? What book would kick us off on the right note? And you're like, Ellie Alexander, this is what we're starting with. And so then you chose your 3, and we had Lending a Paw, and then this time it was my choice, and Fixer Upper won. So this time around is Courtney, and so I don't know what books I'm going to do for that month. Or I think it's May you're referring. Yes, it was May. I was going to say we're jumping ahead a little bit. It's like we lost a month. But that's okay. Yeah, I mean, I can come up with some ideas. And if you guys actually want to let me know what's on your to be read list and kind of give me some options to look at, that would be awesome. So if you want to tweet at me or tweet over on our account or Instagram, whatever, let me know what books you are considering or looking at or thinking, hey, this is the one that I think everyone would enjoy. Let me know, because I have quite a few, but I feel an immense amount of pressure when it comes to choosing books. And so I try not to read the reviews because I want to be spoiler free, because I want to enjoy the read as well. But I try and look at enough that I'm going to choose ones that hopefully a majority of people will like. So if you have any suggestions, let me know.
I'm so glad that you guys are so excited about the new book. I'm so excited about the new book. Hopefully it's not like a dud, like, February's book might have been a little. I mean,
it just, I think it had to do with the main character. I almost felt as if if you could overcome that hurdle and want to keep reading, the next couple of books were going to be better. I kind of got that impression. But because, I mean, the cat was the one who solved the murder, as far as I'm concerned. I think the cat is this Eddie there. I think Eddie stole the show.
Very much so. Trisha says, Angela, I have a lot on my TBR and I can tweet at you for some options.
Tweet at me, DM me, let me know. I would love to see what's on your to be read list. I mean, I want the recommendations. I mean, even I need to choose 3. And so, I mean, if you have a good one, that might be one of my 3. I think I actually gave you 4 last time.
Yes, no, you gave me 4, and then I chose 3 out of those 4.
Okay, I was gonna say, I think I actually, as soon as the number came out, I was like, wait a second, I think I gave you an extra one last time around.
You did, and I think that 3 is a good number, and I like 3 for some reason. It's just a good number.
For some reason, I got 4 because there are 4 options on a Twitter poll. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
I mean, 3 works though, because I mean, at least the whole tie situation, it was easy to maneuver and see, and you're gonna have it's gonna work out nicely.
Trish, wait, most of mine come from Courtney. Yeah, I have a small addiction, you know, whatever. It happens.
Addicted to than cozy mysteries.
Yes, there are a lot of worse things to be addicted to. But I think that it's almost 9 o'clock here, which means it's almost 10 o'clock in Angela's time, and so I know that everybody's got to go to work. I've got another like a gajillion hour training like I did today, and so I think that we're gonna say goodnight, our cozy companions. Hashtag cozy companions. You guys are fantastic, and I love your faces and all of that.
I know, I'm so happy we get to do this, and it's so much fun to talk about these books, and this one was my favorite. I mean, Ellie's, it's so weird to call her Ellie because I know her real name's Kate. I don't know how to refer to her. Ellie's book was awesome. This is probably my favorite, and so having the discussion about Eric versus Mac is so much fun to me, and I really do think we should have our little cozy mystery writing session. So you're actually joining me on my channel next Wednesday, am I correct?
Yes, next Wednesday I will be joining Angela on her channel about my cozy mystery writing, the book that I'm writing.
On April 7th is Words on the Page-a-thon. You can check it out. It's a 24-hour write-a-thon that I've been organizing, and so we were going to be talking about cozy mysteries over there and her writing, and so leading up to the write-a-thon on the Saturday, April 7th, I'm going to be doing a couple live streams, and Courtney is going to be such a sweetheart and join me and talk about her writing, and I think it's going to be another fun Wednesday night.
It's going to be fantastic. So
you're taking over your Wednesdays on YouTube.
You need to go and tune in and make sure that you have subscribed to Angela's page. If you click the little eye in the upper right hand corner, there should be a little picture of Angela for you to go and subscribe to her, because I tagged her there. And then you should also vote on who you like better for Shannon, Mac or Eric.
I think we've already established my favorite, and I think we've established yours, but I want to see who wins this. I need to know your opinion, so please go vote. I think this is going to be very interesting.
All right. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching and being a part of this club, and I love you all.